What's hanging webheads? Here are the top 10 Lego Marvel sets that I personally own. At number 10, it did make the cut, is the Goat Boat from Thor Love and Thunder. Some things that I like about this set. It has really cool minifigures. It's got Thor, it's got Jane, it has Gore the God Butcher. It also has Valkyrie. If you open up the cabin, you actually have access to a cool little room for them to go into with some fun little Easter eggs. And of course, there's Korg in there as well. Overall, a pretty cool set, Stormbreaker included, Mjolnir included, lots of cool characters and accessories, and I'm a sucker for sets that have actual interiors that can fit all of the characters. So this is my number 10 set. For my 9th favorite set, it would have to be the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Volume 3, Bowie spaceship. Now, I will say some really cool pros to this ship. It stands out from the Milano and the Benatar. The color scheme's really neat. I love the design. It's very unique as well. It really breaks away from that Benatar Milano look, which I think is interesting, having these sort of concentric circles here. It has movable thrusters and stuff, and it does one thing really well. It has storage for all of the characters' weapons. I'd say my biggest complaint with this, one, personal note, Guardians Volume 3 just wasn't I think it's my least favorite Guardians of the Galaxy movie. The next thing is a big personal thing. I don't like when vehicles don't include enough space to have all of the members of the team comfortably fit inside. Now I understand Adam Warlock can be outside, that's fine, but the problem really arises in this area down here. So I have Rocket just shoved in there because he doesn't fit anywhere. Of course, Nebula and Mantis and Star-Lord are piloting the ship, and then down here we have Drax. And Drax is just kind of stowed away, and the only way to fit all of them in there is to take Rocket and just kind of shove him up there and close it in. And he's just loose rattling around in there. I don't like it, I'm not a fan of it. Their way around that is to say that these are actually little spaceships that come off, these little triangles, and that way they have a place to sit. You know, you sit in a little triangle and you fly around, and it looks kind of like that. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I don't like it. I think it looks stupid. Not a big fan of how the solution was to hold the whole team in there. So that's my biggest complaint. Overall, the design's cool. Love the color scheme. Other note that I will say is that the scale doesn't really match up well with the Milano or the Benatar. I don't expect for it to be minifig scale because that thing would be as big as this room, but I would love it to be a little bit larger. I do like that it comes with a display base so you can have it flying and not just sitting on the ground. And like I said, it's a really unique design. I just wish it fit the whole team comfortably. And I also wish that there was a bit of a larger scale for the spaceship as well. And it just doesn't happen to be from my favorite movie. That is number 9. Next up, we have my 8th favorite Marvel Lego set that I own. It is the Spider-Man bust, or just really not even a bust, just like a head mask. I think it's really neat. They did a really good job capturing a fabric mask over a face in square Lego bricks. How do you do that, right? The eyes have to be my favorite part of this Lego set. They did such a great job capturing Spider-Man's eyes. I would like them to be maybe a little bit more angled, but again, it's so hard to have that angle, and the way they did it was really neat. So kudos to Lego for that really cool eye design. Why this gets points deducted for me? One, I think that the head is a bit too tall and a bit too squeezed like this way. The next thing is, I don't like that there's so many stickers. There's like 11 stickers on this thing for the web lines. I think all the web lines should have been printed. It's just black ink on red plastic. In their defense, the only stickers that they used were just kind of over the side and the top. But for the price, for it being, you know, kind of more of a collector focused item, I would have loved to have seen it all be printed. Another negative for me as well was that there was no minifigure included. And I think that there should have been a Spider-Man minifigure included. Personally, I would have loved like a red and black Spider-Man minifigure, but that's just me personally. I just love that color combination for him. Overall, this would be my number 8 set. Number 7 on my top 10 Lego sets that I personally own list would be the Avengers Quinjet. Now, this one was tough. It was tied for me between this one and another one, but I ended up going with this one just because of a personal bias that I have. I'm now just realizing how dusty this thing is. I need to dust it. Great set, great set. The only knocks that I have against it, one, the bottom leaves much to be desired. There's not much going on there. It's mostly just exposed plate. The next thing is, although I do really like that the landing gear does deploy, I don't like that it's just kind of out there in the open, kind of ugly sort of way right there. So that's a negative. And then the final knock against it, not really its fault. It's just a gray jet. So there's not much color there. That gray wouldn't be as bad if the stickers actually matched that color. So the stickers don't even match the gray color. So it's this weird two-tone, unintentionally two-tone gray kind of color scheme that I really wish was more consistent with the stickers. But again, there's not a printed piece on here. It's all stickers. But there are some things that I really like about it. So number one thing with me, when it comes to spaceships, when it comes to vehicles or buildings, I want it to fit comfortably all of the characters. That's just a personal thing for me. This one does that and more. There are 6 seats back here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. So you have extra room just to sit back here. Got Thor landing on top, Iron Man, although he wasn't flying outside. I just like the way that looks. But it fits all of the Avengers very comfortably, and that's a huge selling point for me. I also like that there's enough room for the cockpit to actually have Natasha sitting upright, and she's not squeezed into some sort of weird position. There is enough room for a second person to sit behind her. So this isn't quite the right scale. You should be able to sit next to each other, but that Quinjet would be massive. So the Quinjet for me, really cool, has functioning doors. You've got enough room for the whole crew. It's fairly accurate to the movies. Only downsides are, 1, just a gray color ship. 2, the stickers don't match that gray color, and there's tons of stickers. 3, the exposed plates throughout it, it just kind of doesn't feel that premium. And the good things are lots of great minifigures from an iconic movie that I love, and it fits all the characters super easily. And I really do like the scale of it. And it comes with a base, which is up mounted on my wall right now, but I really like that. For my 6th favorite Lego Marvel set that I own, it's going to have to be the Spider-Man No Way Home Statue of Liberty Battle set. The reason why I love this one so much, 1, it's from one of my favorite movies of all time. You get all the characters here. I mean, if you name a character that you want, Sandman, Green Goblin, Lizard, Doc Ock, which I think Lizard should have been a big fig instead of this little one down here, but still really great. You get all the Spider-Man, you get MJ and Ned, so you get everyone. I think it's just a great set. It does a pretty good job of kind of capturing that moment. I will say a bit of a downfall is just kind of how fragile a lot of this is. Also, with the weird choice of making the Statue of Liberty copper in that movie, like I really wish it was that green tone. I think it would have looked better that way. It would have given more like Statue of Liberty. When you look at this, it just kind of looks like a statue of something, I don't know. But you know, it still is fairly recognizable as a Statue of Liberty, all that being said, especially from that movie. I really love it. This is technically 2.5 sets because it has a Sandman expansion on it, but I thought that really this is how it should have come in the first place. So I'm gonna rank this at number 6. This is awesome. Get my first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man minifigure, which I've never had before. So definitely up there for me on favorite sets that I own. For my 5th favorite Marvel Lego set that I own, I'm gonna have to give it to the Lego Benatar from Guardians of the Galaxy. No, from Avengers Infinity Wars, the Infinity Saga. So love this ship. Now, with the recent arrival of the Lego Milano, it kind of puts this one to shame a little bit, but I really do love it still. The size is a bit different from the Milano, so this one should be technically bigger, I believe, than the Milano, if I remember correctly, but it's still really cool. One of my favorite things about it, 1, just from a great movie, Infinity War, so good. The Avengers Endgame and Infinity War saga is just incredible. One other thing that I really love about it is that it fits all of the members of the crew. So you have Star-Lord, you have Groot. If you remove this panel back here, which I know you can do, you've got Chitauri Warrior, you've got Thor, Mantis, Rocket. You've got pretty much everybody. Of course, you're missing Gamora, and you're also missing Drax, I think. So That's a bit unfortunate, but I really do like the design. One of my favorite things are just how these back thrusters move, all the different flaps that move with it, and all the different details underneath the flaps. They really did a great job. This was a wonderful first step toward with the Guardian ship that led us to something that's absolutely an amazing ship, which we'll get to later. But the color scheme is great, being all orange. I have a personal connection with the Benatar, as I was Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy show for Disney. And I know, I really have a personal connection with this ship. I really do love it a lot. It's been a prized piece in my collection for a long time. And I'd say my least favorite thing about it though is just this, there's not enough room in the cockpit. It should be bigger. Other pluses, I really like the base. They tried something different with this kind of swivel base. I think that's pretty neat. I like that it gives you different options to pose the ship. And I really like that it has really cool Easter eggs and nods inside the cabin. A huge thing for me are interiors in vehicles and ships. So you do have an appearance from Gamora on the TV screen, and then you do also have storage for all of their weapons, and there's a donut, and I believe there's also a coffee machine. So that's something for me that I really love, those little details. It's something that separates sets for me, like just in terms of how much I really love them, are the interior details. So this one did a great job with the interior details. With the limited space they had, they did a great job executing it. I've been teasing this a lot, and this is very difficult. The next 4 sets, I say the next 3 sets are tied for second, but I can't do that. I have to separate them. So because I have to, I'm going to have to put the Milano at number 4. This is tough. The distance between this and number 2 are decimals, which is crazy because out of the next 3 upcoming sets after this one's the cheapest option of those. And I love it that much. One thing for me, for the Milano, because this is number 4, the emotional attachment. I have so much emotional attachment to this ship. Seeing Guardians 1, seeing this ship designed for the first time, it was so unique. I'd never seen anything like that. Look at the back of this, it's incredible. They captured this perfectly. I already had one Milano and it just wasn't great. Left much to be desired. It was from, I believe, Guardians 2. This one just fulfilled all of my dreams. The curves that they're able to achieve out of Lego with this are insane. The angles and the curves and the profile, they got the chin right on this thing. It's so iconic. They got it right. I'm sure you could probably nitpick on certain things, but the canopy, it came in a separate package so it wouldn't get scratched. It's printed. There's very few stickers in this. The colors are incredible. The details everywhere are amazing, and even on the sides, they have plates. I love all of the minifigures are included, are exactly who I would want. I do wish that we had them in their different outfits. These are cool, the Ravager outfits, but I would rather have them from their own individual outfits, but these are neat as well. I'm a huge fan of 2 things I keep mentioning in Lego sets is detailed interiors. 2 are vehicles and buildings that fit all the characters included, and they have storage for all their weapons and accessories. This one does all those things, and it does it perfectly. The other Guardians set, the Bowie, had storage for weapons, but it was outside of the ship. So, you know, it technically has storage, so you're not gonna lose them, but like canonically with the story, it just kind of breaks the immersion for me. This one doesn't. This one, the interior is absolutely stunning, and the way that it actually pops up, it's just crazy to me how this works, how this whole thing lifts off and you have Star-Lord's bed inside, you have his cassette tape, you've got Yondu making an appearance, you have a weapons rack, you have a cockpit that seats 2 people side by side and Star-Lord above them, and it has the lever, or the thruster lever that he uses. It has little baby Groot in there, and it really has everything that you would really want from a reasonably scaled Milano. Love the scale, love the size of this. It fits everyone. The details even on the back are incredible. One thing that really was important to me, whenever I used to be friends with Star-Lord at Disney and I had a meet and greet with him, where I met people was right in front of this window. I'll put a picture up so you can see it, but I met people right in front of this window, and it made me sad when the previous Milano set didn't have that, because I'm like, it's so iconic to me personally. And this set has it. And I can look at this and picture myself meeting people, Star-Lord meeting people right in front of this window, and it makes me happy. Lots of really cool memories. It's so tough because this is just so close. It is a decimal away from being my favorite set of all time that I own, period. But there are just so many really good Lego Marvel sets. It comes in at number 4. All right, my third favorite Lego Marvel set of all time is the Sanctum Sanctorum. Now, it was tough, it was close. I almost switched these around with the exception of one that is my absolute favorite. This one was tough. The things I love about it, the building experience was incredible. The exterior and interiors of this building, although it is smaller than the other 2 buildings that I own, it is so packed with detail. All of the characters that you could ever want are in this. It just reflects that building so well and how it was brought to life in the movies, and it really even has some fun play features where you can change the way different doors open to different dimensions, and it reflects the comic books, and it does such a great job encapsulating all the Doctor Strange things that I love and know, and it brings it into a great Lego set that really could be from the Doctor Strange movie, the Avengers movie, the Infinity Saga. I love the rooftop on this. It has so many cool minifigures. It has such a great exterior. The only downside is it's too thin. It should have extended further back, in my opinion. It causes the lobby to be very compact, and it gives you a lot of unnecessary alleyway space behind it. With that said, I think it's an incredible set. I think it's instantly recognizable. I had such a pleasure building this. All the different techniques and exterior and interior details that go into this made this set so incredible. So with that said, number 3, Sanctum Sanctorum. And that brings us to number 2. That's right, the silver medal for my favorite Lego Marvel set of all time. It goes to the Avengers Tower. It's so big that I can't really get it all on frame. By the way, if you want to see a video of me building this, I have made one and uploaded it, so go ahead and check that out. But this thing's massive. It's massive, and it's incredible, and it almost was number 3. It's so iconic. It's from one of my favorite movies of all time. I have such fond memories waiting in the line overnight to go see the first Avengers movie in theaters. I'm the guy that had my flip phone. It was a Motorola Razr, and I had downloaded the Iron Man movie trailer on it. And I was showing all my friends the initial Iron Man trailer just to get them hyped for it. And we got this, finally, the Avengers Tower. It has almost everything you could want. There are a few complaints, though. What they make up for in scale, they sometimes sacrifice in detail. So this Sanctum Sanctorum is so incredibly detailed. This Avengers Tower, not so much. You do have some nice details in the lobby. You have some nice details with a lot of the minifigures included and characters, but some of the rooms don't quite mesh well. Tony's workshop is kind of neat, but not very accurate to the films. The prison containment from the helicarrier doesn't really fit in there very well. One area that I do really love is the lounge club space area up top. I think that's really cool. Even the little tiny Quinjet build's really neat, but there are some other areas I would have loved to have seen more fleshed out and had some more detail in than rather just be like, it's massive. And that's a positive and a negative because it's so big that I'm terrified to move it. Now it's sturdy, but it's really big. Building this thing was fun. I won't say it was as fun as the Sanctum Sanctorum. The exterior was extremely repetitive with all of the different windows. I do like a lot of the different minifigures that you get with it. I like the detail of how they make the A, the Avengers logo. You have the America's backside scene, which is extremely funny. I love how they did the broken glass there. You had different references to different Avengers movies, all kind of shoved into one. There were a few characters that I felt like were missing, but all in all, I really enjoyed building this set, and it has to be my second favorite Marvel Lego set that I've ever owned. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to number 1. Now, I'm sure to the surprise of absolutely no one given my username, my favorite Lego Marvel set that I've ever owned is the Daily Bugle. It is incredible. It has so many wonderful details and references scattered all throughout the building. References to the old cartoon, references to the movies, references to their own in-universe canon of the Lego universe. For instance, the The villains promise to be good now. Should we trust them? You know, and the Morbius stuff. And I love even just how they have J. Jonah Jameson and the messages on his computer to Peter Parker saying you're fired, you know? It's so great to have something that feels just so Spider-Man in a set, and a return to what Spider-Man is for me. I personally really enjoy the more comic accurate Spidey. He's in the Daily Bugle, he's working as a photographer, he's trying to make ends meet, he doesn't have a crazy Iron Man suit, it's made out of spandex, and he's just trying to make it through, you know, trying to make it by. And this set gives me that feeling. And the building experience. When I built this set, I made a point to enjoy every brick. And I built it twice because it's also got a light kit installed. I need one for the Avengers Tower, I don't have one yet. But I built it twice because it has the light kit. When I built it, I watched the 90s animated series Spider-Man show throughout the entire building experience. And I just moved to Los Angeles. I got this set. I was alone in my empty apartment, building it, watching the Spider-Man series. I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. And that is why this is easily the #1 Marvel Lego set that I've ever owned. The details, the minifigs, the references, the building experience, the different actions that are happening. There's a story going on here, and I really enjoy how it's being told, with the Green Goblin breaking out, Sandman bursting out of the ground, Aunt May delivering cookies and being scared by a runaway cab. There's so many stories going on, including even Black Cat stealing a diamond. I mean, there's so much happening. There's so many different lore and character moments going on all at once. It makes the Spider-Man fan in me extremely happy. And that is why, like I said, it's #1. Anyways, guys, what do you think of this list? Let me know if you would have ranked them any differently, or if you have other sets that you would put in your own personal top 10 down below. I'd love to see what your top 10 Lego Marvel sets are of all time. Anyways, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow, all the things. I'm Webheaded Hero everywhere. If you want to give me a follow, I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.